Hello and welcome. Today, I'm going to be doing a very quick ranked tier list. See, this is not competitive play, and this is something you need to take into account. This is for ranked, where you queue against a random opponent on a random character, and there's no counter picking, and there is no changing your character like halfway through a set or a game. This is just for general ranked. I think this will probably apply from like gold plus, and maybe in silver as well. But all the characters, you have to remember, can win a tournament. Every character in the game could place number one in a tournament, but some are better than others, and some make that harder or easier, depending on whether they're good on in the meta or not. So first, I'm gonna be ranking the best ranked characters right now. Number one, I think is Jae Young. No one knows how to play against this character, like at all. It is just unlike no one knows how to play against this character yet, and especially in like lower ranks. That if you can learn Greatsword, then you pretty much just get free wins. And then I'm gonna put every single canon legend except for Lin Fei. I think canon is really, really good right now. I think I'm gonna put Isaiah in A, but just because he's got guns and there's better options, I don't think he's on the same level as these characters. But I think canon is just so good right now, and it needs some more love. I think it's by far the best weapon in the game, easily. And by the way, these tiers aren't going to be ordered. So if they're in here and here and here, they're going to be relatively the same strength. But I think right now they haven't nerfed cannon, so all the canon legends are going to be quite high up. Even Lin Fei is going to be here, even though Katars are really bad right now, and her stats are bad. Any low dex legend is pretty much going to be good because in ranked, you're going to be similar skilled to your opponent, and if you trade all the time with them, it's really easy to win when you're playing ranked. Because if you have low dex, because you have high other stats. So we're going to get the characters with some like very low dex characters which are strong because of their low dex. One of these characters being Olgrim, wherever he is, he's very strong just because of his low dex. I think he struggles to get to kill because he has no true combos, but he can find random kill moves, which I think is very good. Now we're going to be discussing the really high dex legends, and I think Vrax deserves to go down at E tier. I think that no one's F because F kind of means you're so bad that you can't win, but Vrax definitely belongs down here. His stats hold him back significantly. He has amazing SIGs, but again, his stats are just so bad. And because of that, I think right now he is one of the worst characters in the game, if not the worst character in the game. Another character who's good because their decks is Teros. I think ranked. Maybe I'm gonna put him here because his SIGs kill really early. Again, these two characters, low dex, high damage. I think these are the two best characters to play if you're low skill. I think that if you really just trying to get high and ranked and not get better at the game, you play these two characters. Jae Young's good because no one really knows to fight him, and I think Greatsword's pretty good. And Cannon isn't self-explanatory, but basically, if you dodge, you die. That's kind of how Cannon works right now, and that's why I think Cannon is just stupidly OP. Anyway, now I'm just going to go in alphabetical order. Now I've got some of the things out of the way, and I'll just explain why. I think Ada's in B tier. She's got good weapon combo, but high dex, so not good stats, and the low defense kind of makes it a bit hard to play her. Artemis, she is going to be put in B tier because some of her SIGs are very quick and unreactable. But she struggles to kill. She has no true kill confirm really because Lance and Scythe can't, so you often get them to a very late percent. Zuri's going in C. She's got pretty decent SIGs, but her weapon combo is not good at all. Katars are really bad right now, so all the Katar legends are kind of going to be quite low, except for really Lin Fei. It's not that Lin Fei's special, it's just she has cannon. And if you one-trick cannon, then you can make it work. But when they buff Katars, Azuri's always going to be up in these three tiers because she's got solid SIGs and sword is always pretty much going to be good. Azov, I think, goes in the same tier as Azuri. Everyone kind of knows what he does. His side sig lingers a bit, His like enter can catch off guard because it shoots twice, but he doesn't really do anything new. Azoth doesn't really have that unique, special thing that many characters have. Barraza gonna go up in A. I think that having Axe and blasters is just too good. His high defense means his high defense and guns having deal out recovery, which is a really great kill option, means that you can build up the damage with either weapon because they're both good, and you can kill with a random hit set from Axe, or you can kill with deal out recovery if they're just dodging your random hits. And we've seen pro players make it work. Cody Travis, like one of the best players in the world right now, he makes it work, and I think he's good. Core and ranked very high, high defense. He is a very, very good character, and I think that his weapon combo is great because Hammer is one of the best weapons in the game right now. But I think he gets let down a bit by his Sig kit because his like side Sig on Hammer, his down Sig on Hammer, they're kind of useless. They don't really, you can't really use them much. Bodvar is going to also go in A. In ranked at least, the sword D-Sig can kind of just end the stock before you can like even think, and that is really good. Any character with a Sig where you kind of just die and don't like just die really quickly is going to be quite high. And I think that Bodvar's up here because he's always going to be good. So if you're thinking about maining a character, I would main Bodvar because there's not going to be a time where Bodvar is specifically bad because he's quite a... They kind of balance the game around him as he's one of the first characters. Bryn, it's going to go in B tier. Let down by a weapon combo. Good Sigs, great stats. But her weapon combo is kind of a bit bad. Spear is good right now, and so is Axe. But the weapon combo isn't that good as like both of them. She needs a kind of get off me weapon, a shorter range weapon to function. Caspian is going to go in C tier. I think that his Sigs are great. His stats are pretty okay. But his weapon combo, again, is just bad. Katars and Gauntlets do pretty much the same thing, except Gauntlets are good and Katars are bad right now. Cassidy, well, I mean, she has really, really good Sigs, but really, really bad stats. I'm going to put her in B for ranked at least, because if you're trading with your opponent a lot, with that low defense and high dex, you don't really get to utilize it. But she does get access to some good true combos because of the high dex. And having those 3 pieces on Hammer, she's got a few of them, is very useful. Cross is gonna go in beta. I mean, I think that he's better than all these legends here and doesn't get the love he deserves. He has a surprisingly good Sig kit. His Sigs have extremely high force, and his weapon combo is pretty good. I don't know why more people don't play him. I think that he is a pretty strong overall like legend. Diana's gonna go in A. She has a couple Sigs that spike and reversals, good spacing, and you can keep people out of the wall. Dusk is gonna go in D. I think that I don't think he's as bad as D, but I mean, I don't see a reason to play him. We're gonna get up to this character here, and and I'll explain why. But Ember B because no C because Katars are bad right now. Amazing Sigs, bad stats, good weapon combo. That's all I have to say. Faye S. Faye is such a good legend, best Sig kit in the game in my opinion. Like I don't see another character having a better Sig kit other than maybe Nash, but then again, that's debatable. And great weapon combo. Orb can kill consistently. Scythe can rack up damage. Orb can zone with Dare. Scythe can just be Scythe. You know, you get one dodge read, you get him to orange. You know, Orb is like an extension of Sword. It's kind of like just an advanced sword. So I think that she's a really good character, and I highly recommend picking her up. I personally think she is overall, if the game was perfectly balanced, that every weapon was balanced, and all that mattered was stats and Sigs, she'd be the best character in the game. Nash, S tier. I think he goes in the same. He adds to this top 3 of just like you don't really need much skill to play them, and this is ranked. Remember, Nash has the best stats in the game. You take away from Dex, his stats are absolutely crazy, and his Sigs on Hammer and some of his spear Sigs are pretty good. But the fact that you can just die to him sometimes and you can't react to his Sigs makes it so irritating to play against. A lot of his Sigs, you think you can punish them and then you go in and you just get hit. Because that is just how it is. Because he's just Nash. It's just Nash. Hattori, gonna go in B tier for ranked actually. Her stats let her down this season because Dex is just not that good, and she's kind of got a lot of Dex and speed. You know, bit of a speed like orientated, doesn't have much defense or attack. But I mean, she has okay SIGs and a great weapon combo. That's it. Gyro is C tier. He has, or Jiro is C tier. He has good SIGs but terrible stats. The 3 defense and high dex. You just can't. If they just all they need to do for him is they need to take away some of his dex, put it into defense, maybe take away some of his speed and put it into attack. If they ever did a stat rework, then I think that he could be up here actually. But his stats just let him down so much. Kaya gonna go in B tier, just a solid character all around. A best like not best stats, I think very solid stats right now. I think she's very very good. Koji same again. He doesn't really have anything like special other than the down sig on bow catching you all the time. He can't really just like end a stock like that. Lucian's gonna go in A. I know I said all Qatar legends are gonna be down, but Lucian Sigs are just so good. They are just so good. All of them, every single one of them has a use and they're all so good. And the down six spiking off stage when you don't even realize it is a very good way to catch someone out. And that works in ranks, especially when people aren't paying 100% full attention. Mirage, I'm going to put a Mirage in D tier right now because I personally don't see why you'd pick Mirage when you've got such better options with Spear and Scythe. With Scythe, you've got Fate, you've got Mordex, you've got Nyx. There's many options you have which are better than her. And for Spear, you've got a lot of Spear legends who are better than her. And I don't think that she is personally a good legend to pick. Mordex is going to go in A. Everyone knows how to play against Mordex. This is the big problem. He's one of the most. I think he's the most played legend in the game across all ranks, and that means that having a lot of experience against them, you kind of know exactly how fast the SIGs are. But the active input SIGs mixed with the 2 string weapons and gauntlets can kill as well. Just makes him, since he released, he's been one of the top legends. I just think right now that Scythe needs a bit of a buff. And the only reason that Fate is up there is because she has an immaculate SIG kit. And Mordex's is pretty good, but just not as good as Fate's. C for Nyx actually. Nyx is pretty average. Good stats, bad weapon combo, and good SIGs. Good SIGs, some of them are good at least. The N-SIG on blasters in competitive play won't really do anything. But in ranked, you can just catch people and steal their stock with it, which is extremely, extremely good. Just that in general is such a good thing to do. Orion's going to go in S tier for ranked. He is not good in competitive, just ranked. I want to explain why. First of all, the downsig on Spear, catching spot dodge, means that you can just steal people's stocks with that. And also, people just don't pay attention sometimes in ranked, and you can just get a random free sig. And they've got such good force, and they have good range, meaning that if someone isn't paying attention, they will get hit. Petra is going to go in B. I really love Petra. I just think she's missing something, but I can't even put a finger on it. She's got pretty good stats. She's got good weapon combo, and she's just missing something right now. I think that if Cannon gets a nerf, and same with Hammer, then she will just suddenly we'll see a lot more Petras. I think that that's what that's holding her back. I think that Orb doesn't really do well against Hammer. I personally don't like the matchup, but I mean that's just me. And I think that if the heavy net, all the heavy weapons get a nerf, then I think that she will be one of the best in the game. Nye is an F. You can't do Dare to D-Light because she's got such low dex. Pretty sure you need 5 dex and she can only go up to 4. And her stats are appalling. The low speed, like you can't run 2 speed Nye. It's not even an option. And 2 dex can work, but at the same time, the 3 speed and just limits her. And you don't have some of the things like Katars is already the worst weapon in the game, right? And sorry, no one's in there. Katars is already the worst weapon in the game, and when you have a character which can't even do some of the true combos, it just kind of rubs it in. Right now, I think Ragnir is in C, only because I wouldn't put him in the same level as these characters for ranked at least. I think that it's a bit different. He's a really strong legend, but don't get me wrong, but Katars right now are just bad. If Katars get a buff, he's up here. He's in one of these 2 tiers, you know? But right now, I don't see him on the level of some of these characters, especially some of the characters which can just catch you with some really cheesy stuff in here. Like, all these characters can have one gimmick. Like, Ada's got her side spear sig, which is really quick. Artemis side sig on Lance. Bryn has her D-Light end sig on Spear. Cassidy just has all her sigs being quick. Cross has really high force. Hattori's just pretty solid. Kaya's, again, pretty solid. And Koji's got his down sig. Petra's on bow. Petra's got all her sigs are just pretty good. But he doesn't really have that one thing that you can do. The end sig on Katars is pretty good for a dunk, same with the down sig, but again, Katars is just so bad right now that I don't think it's worth it. Jala, 3 defense kind of lets her down, but her cheesy sigs really make up for it. The down sig on Sword is so quick, and I think that alone will always make her a pretty decent legend. And that is just what I think. I think that in ranked, at least, not competitive play, if I was doing a competitive play tier list, this would be very different. A lot of the top picks wouldn't be there, but I think that she's doesn't have that much cheese, but she's got good solid just like options to like get people with. Man's going in a good weapon combo, got Axe, which is really good in ranked, especially because when Lance is quite good, Axe is going to be really good, because Lance into Axe is terrible. No one likes playing it, and I think that just Lance being strong on its own makes Axe strong. The down sig on both weapons, spiking straight down and being really quick on Axe, can lead to some really cheesy kills. And I think that, and the GC side sig on Rayman, Axe, you can catch people like lacking. You can catch people just like relax, trying to like space, and then you just throw that out, and then they just get caught out. Scarlet's going up here. Scarlet's really good in ranked, like really good in ranked. Side sig on Hammer covers like all of the edges on some maps. The down sig on Hammer has super high force and is a reversal, so you can get early kills with that. The end sig on Hammer has, again, high force. All the sigs. Down sig on Lance, you can just catch people recovering with that. And then you can just kill. She struggles on Lance to kill, but she's got high force and good sigs, so it just makes up for it. Sentinel, really underrated legend. Katar's not that good right now, so he's going in C. Katar's got buffed again. I reckon he can be up in these tiers, but Katar's just need a bit of work right now. They're just not that good. Sentinel, very good sigs, very good weapons spread. If they got buffed, they just need to get buffed. He could be on the level of Rayman. He's got like as good sigs as Rayman, better stats than, or as good stats as Rayman, but he just doesn't have gauntlets, and he has Katars instead, which is a very bad thing. Roland, Lance, high defense. That's all I really have to say. He has Lance and high defense. That is it. That's all you need, you know. Lance, people hate playing against it, people get tilted. High defense, you last longer, so people will be annoyed for longer, and you know, you can tilt people. The sigs also, the D sig on Lance is so quick and has good range, and you can just catch people with it. And the end sig, you just do a side light end sig or D light end sig, you can just catch people and they just die, which is useful. Thatch, bad stats. Just Thatch is going here. Thatch is not good. He has a decent weapon spread and very meh sigs. They're very situational, but his stats are just not good. Thor, going here, he was very good for a while, and I think he is very good in ranked. I think in competitive, I would put him somewhere up here, but he's just he doesn't have any cheese. He doesn't have much cheese at all. He's just quite a fundamental character. Val, gonna go in B. That, again, very fundamental character. The only cheese she really has is the side sig off the ledge, killing really early, which is useful, but you need more cheese in ranked. You know, you got to get these characters, all of them. This is just high force and cannon. That's it. Nash, really quick sigs. Side sig on Hammer. These, like, all of his sigs just are cheesy and do so much damage. The sig true combos, like 0 to deaths on all of these characters. Every sig is good. You just catch people just like not paying attention and kill them. And Greatsword is one dodge read and you die. And people don't have to play against the weapon. People still spot dodge against it, which is the biggest mistake. Wushang, B. High dex. If he didn't have high dex, he would definitely be A, but he's got high dex, so it's just like that. Yumiko, B. You have a couple of cheesy things. You've got the down sig spam on Hammer to stop them from approaching in the air, which is quite fun to do, quite useful. But I do think that she does suffer from the high dex again, and her weapon combo is pretty okay, but I think that it could be improved. But Hammer's really strong. It does everything. So, and she's got a good hammer sig kit. Zariel B, you got the dunk, but the dunk doesn't go straight down. It hits horizontal. And that's really it. That's what the character's got, other than a good like low speed gauntlets. You don't really get a lot of them, but she or he does a very good job at winning neutral, because if you hit someone once on one of those weapons, you can do quite a lot of damage, and you can trade quite well with his high defense Vector. No one plays Vector, so no one knows what Vector does. I think they're like a they're like a legend, right? Which is, they're not good. They're probably the same here, like same as here, but no one knows how to play against them, and no one knows what their sigs do. So it puts them up 2 whole tiers because of that, in ranked at least. But when you come against a competent opponent who knows what they're doing, then they're like down here. And finally, you got Volkov, who again goes here. Yeah, Siphon Axe, 2 amazing weapons, but he's just pretty mediocre. His SIGs aren't too quick, or the ones that are quick don't have that much force, so you can't get that cheese kill. And I think that is just, that's it. That's every character. I'm going to order these 2 tiers because I think it's important. I think that right now in the meta, Zol is number 1, Sidra is number 2 because they're just both good. Yeah, then Terrace, Nash, Jaeyoung. I can't really rate him properly, but because no one knows how to play against him, I could put him at the top. I'm probably going to put him here when people know how to play against him. Then Onyx is probably above Jaeyoung. Faye is gonna be Orion's gonna be the bottom of this tier. He's kind of like an A+. He's like, if I could put him here, I would. But yeah, this is the tier list. I think that we're gonna have to put Isaiah maybe lower because of his bad sigs, but no one knows what he does at the same time. He's gonna be at the bottom here. Then these two get carried by Cannon, and that's it. Bodvar, Olgrim, and Core are gonna be at the top of this tier, along with Barraza. Mordex as well. He doesn't have much cheese though. He is just a good character. He's got a lot of cheese, and I think that Roland or Lucian, this is it. This is the tier list. These are not ordered. These 2 are. Thank you for watching. This was a very long video, but this is ranked. Remember, not competitive. This is for climbing ranked. I think that many people are going to agree with me. But if you watch till here, like the whole way through, first of all, you sat through 22 minutes of video. Thank you. Don't believe anyone could listen to my voice for 22 minutes, but you have. But it would really mean a lot if you left a like, commented on what you thought, one character you thought I put wrong, and if you would subscribe to me. The aim, I'm going to say, is 10K by Christmas. See, you got to set high goals, and this is a very, very high goal. But I really do hope that, it'll be the best Christmas present. But anyway, thank you. I'll see you in the next one.